All right, what is going on, everybody? We are back for episode 5 of the Lightforce podcast. I am Noah. This is Laney, as always. How are you doing on this fine Friday?
I'm doing fantastic. It's definitely Thursday, right?
Well, yeah, but this comes out on Friday. Come on, suspend disbelief
Oh,
here.
oh, my bad. Sorry, guys. I took you out of the illusion that we are talking to you on Friday. One funny thing that happened, I told you I was going to go to the gym right before this, and I got ready for it, and I was walking out the door, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't find my key. One, shorter backstory, I left my keys in my friend's car that I went to the Conjuring early screening with.
Yeah.
And he is currently on the way to Georgia with my keys. So I have to wait for him to fly back with my keys on
Your
Monday.
car keys, that
My car
sucks,
keys.
dude.
So we have a spare key. No problem, right? We have a spare key. I'm looking everywhere for the spare key today. Realize I washed and dried it in my shorts last night. So now the spare key doesn't work. Now I'm really stranded at the house. And then I was
Well,
like, all right, let's just film the podcast. I guess I'm not going anywhere.
well, you brought it up. You might as well talk about it real quick. How is The Conjuring? I'm not expecting a full review from a non-horror fan, but...
Yeah, I feel like my judgment is so skewed because, like you said, I am not the biggest fan of the horror genre, but I have seen the first Conjuring, and that was enough for me. And then I was like, I'm not watching anything like that anymore. And then I so graciously was invited by Warner Brothers to an early screening of The Conjuring Last Rites, which is the final installment of the Conjuring universe that comes out on September 5th, which is literally when this episode comes out. And it was so nice. It was a fun little event that they put together, nothing too crazy. And the movie started, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I really don't. I don't think I can do this.
Yeah,
But,
I'm not a horror guy. Not a horror guy.
and there's just some things that you can't unsee, you know? And I really don't like living paranoid. I get scared. I'm a scaredy cat. I don't do horror movies that much. I like slasher films a lot more than like demon possession. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't like it. But it was a very, very well done film. The acting was incredible. The actors that play Ed and Lorraine are just always outstanding. I have to look up the names of a lot of the actors because I actually don't know the names of a lot of the actors in the movie.
Yeah.
The only actor I was familiar with was Ben Hardy, and he played the boyfriend of the daughter of the couple. Long story short, he was great. He was great. I had never seen him in anything but, either a romance or an action film, and this was a horror film, and I honestly thought he was great. But overall, it was really scary. It was really, really scary. I think that horror fans will love it. I don't think I'll ever watch it again because it was so scary. Which is a good thing, so it definitely did its job. But it was great. I was very thankful for the experience, and it scared me, and it was a really well done film. The story was very interesting. It's all based on a true story. If you don't know that, now you do. Like, every Conjuring film is based on a true story, and that scares me even more. So
that's crazy.
That makes it even worse. So
I don't even know the basis of these stories. I'm not a horror guy, never will be. I'm expanding my horizons a little bit, like we're going to talk about on this episode, but like that's totally like can be loose. Like what we're going to talk about can totally be loosely tied into the genres I already watched. Horror, not my cup of tea. Never going to be like, oh, dude, you should give it a shot. I'm good. I'm really good.
No,
I can live my life and feel like I'm not missing out. No FOMO here. But, I'll take an invitation, so I'm happy to go watch it in theaters. Just saying.
Take one for the team.
I'll take one for the team in that case. But real quick, fit check. I got this Fantastic Four shirt yesterday at Walmart.
Brought to you by Walmart. Thank you, Walmart. That's a really cool one.
Rare Walmart W, to be perfectly honest. They had this. They had the Superman shirt 2 months ago. They got a couple W's recently.
Oh, that's pretty fire. I have my episode 3 Revenge of the Sith shirt on. You can't see it because my hair covers it, but the back of the shirt has like the whole episode 3, like it's giant. I'm not going to stand up because I don't feel like it, but it's a really cool shirt. It's from Frick. It's from... Oh my gosh.
Outpost.
Yes, it's something Outpost. Frick. Dang it.
Everybody stay calm.
No, I should know this. Shoot.
Outer Rim Outpost.
Outer Rim Outpost. They're incredible. They're amazing. They have amazing designs for Star Wars shirts. If you guys want to check them out, you definitely should. Outer Rim Outpost. I'm sorry, I forgot. Yes.
Yeah, I literally had that same exact shirt, and I forgot I had it. It's funny you're wearing it today because it was in this closet in my office, which I just kind of keep spare stuff in. And I saw it the other day. I was like, I forgot I had this. I'm breaking this out for the winter arc at the gym.
Oh, dude, no. If we both sat down and we were both wearing the shirt, I'd have been like, one of us is going to have to change. It's not going to be me.
It would have been hilarious if we were actually wearing the same shirt. I'd be like, bro, record. This is the moment for the podcast.
This is great.
No, but it's funny you're wearing that today. But anyway,
Also, Alani. We've got our Alani today. Please, Alani, I love you. We've got Cosmic Stardust today.
We'll take an Alani sponsorship. I'll take a Gorilla Mind sponsorship. I just had 2 of those this week. Got them at GNC. They were great, dude.
Oh my gosh.
What the hell was I about to say?
We love our energy drinks. We
love our energy drinks. I don't have energy drinks. We're getting all the other supplements in while we're drinking today. But anyway, thank you guys for the love this week on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. You guys have been crushing it on the social medias. And for a podcast that's only less than a month old, or just about a month old, I think we're doing pretty well. So just wanted to, of course, say thank you to all you guys. You can be sure, if you're not following us already, go follow us at the Lightforce Podcast on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and of course we're here on YouTube, and if you're listening on Apple and Spotify. But anyway, let's get into what we're talking about today. Should we start it off hot?
I think we should.
Start off hot.
Yeah.
We both watched. I don't know. You probably watched it a couple weeks ago. I think I remember you saying something.
Yeah.
But K-pop Demon Hunters is taking over the world right now.
It is.
I think it's officially the most watched movie in the history of Netflix, which is pretty crazy for a movie that came out, I just checked, August 23rd. So literally like 2-3 weeks ago. I'll be honest. I'm only watched this movie so we can talk about it on the podcast. I just watched it last night. It's fresh in my head. And obviously we'll talk about it a little bit here. We're going to talk about the songs. But just a brief summary of my thoughts. I went into this like, what am I doing here? Then about 20 minutes in, I was like, it's pretty good. And then there's a certain song that we're going to talk about. And as that song was getting sung and the scene was playing out, I kind of just had that moment in my head where I was like, I'm not going to lie. This movie's great.
Man, this is going hard right now.
It was. And like I saw it was like an hour and 30 minutes, but then there was like 15 minutes of credits, so it was even less than that. Flew by. Bunch of songs. Honestly, it was a great movie. Just watched it for the first time last night. What were your thoughts?
So the first time I watched this movie was against my will. I was babysitting these kids, and they were like, we want to watch K-pop Demon Hunters. And I was like, at first I was like, should I be concerned about this? The title, I feel like the title is a little bit misleading. I understand that they are literally a K-pop girl group that hunts demons. I get it. But like, there are other like animes that have similar titles that kids definitely shouldn't be watching. So I was should I be concerned about this? But they were like, no, we've seen it before. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And I was like editing, literally for this podcast. I was editing, and then they put it on, and like, I would find myself like watching it the whole time, and I was like, I'm not even editing at this point because I'm a little bit like locked into what's going on up there, and I was like, why are these songs like low key fire right now?
Kinda hitting, dude.
They were hitting, and I genuinely did not want to like the movie, but then I did. It's for a kids movie. It's incredible. The animation by any standard is honestly like
fantastic.
It's
that was
amazing.
The one thing I realized before the movie started. I was like, I could give them this. This movie clearly is visibly awesome.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
And like gorgeous. You said, like, it's a kid's movie, so you kind of go in expecting, like, what am I doing watching this? I don't want to like this. But then when you really think about it, that's kind of what we watch in general as kids movies. Like I know it's like Star Wars and Marvel and DC, like they have their adult moments, but at the end of the day, we were talking about Toy Story 5 and Ice Age like 2 weeks ago.
We're fantasy lovers.
That's what I'm saying. So like we can't sit here and act like watching this kids movie.
Like we're above it all.
That's what I'm saying.
Movie.
Exactly. But
it was really good. And then I watched the kids like 3 days in a row, and then the third day they were like, let's watch it again. And I was like, okay. Okay.
You're like, you know what?
I really locked in
and
the
I'm
second
actually
time.
locked in. Yep.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
actually
like,
gonna lock
okay.
in this time.
Yeah. And honestly, like we said before, the songs are pretty fire. And one thing I do want to say, when I found out that the voice of Rumi is Arden Cho, I was like, my girl, I love her. No, if you don't know who Arden Cho is, my first interaction, or the first time I ever saw Arden Cho, was when she was playing Kira on Teen Wolf, when I was big into Teen Wolf. She's awesome in that
Gotcha.
show. And then she ends up playing June in the live action Avatar The Last Airbender series. She's in that. And I think she's been doing a lot more voice acting work. More so voice acting than live action appearances. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong in that, but I think she's been doing a lot more voice acting. And then when I found out she's the voice of Rumi, I was like, oh my gosh. I love her. I
She's
love
got
Arden Cho.
a set deal now as a voice actor.
Yeah.
I need a sequel. I need a sequel to the sequel. I'm locked in, bro. Put it in theaters too.
It's confirmed that they are making a second and a third movie. They are literally already greenlit for a sequel and a third movie. And I think they even said possibly a live action, which you know how I feel about live actions.
Slow down, Netflix.
Yeah,
slow down.
You know how I feel about live actions. It's not totally necessary, but I'd still watch it.
I mean, finish the animated ones first, then we'll talk.
Please, yes.
Yeah, I signed it off on a live action like 3 weeks after the first animated movie came out. A little much.
A little crazy, yeah.
Can we talk about these songs, dude?
Yeah. Do you think that... So we ranked these, and so Noah has his list and I have mine. We have not talked about it at all. But do you think we should like go down the album and be like, okay, for this song, where do you have it on your list? Or do you think we should just hammer out our rankings?
We can go down the album. Yeah, hold on. Let me pull it up right now. So we'll go in order of how it releases. By the way, it's the first thing on my Apple Music because I was running it back this morning.
That's really funny, actually.
And right under that, by the way, for everybody out there, Sabrina Carpenter. So that's what we've all been listening to.
The new Sabrina Carpenter album, yes.
Which we can give some quick thoughts on when we're done.
We actually can.
Here.
Yeah.
But there's 2 takedowns on here. I don't know why.
So I think that I could be so wrong when I say this. I think the group that sang most of the songs for, like, Arden Cho was Rumi's voice, but she wasn't Rumi's singing voice, if that makes sense. So all of the voice actors
it was
are
clearly
the voice
like 2
actors.
different people.
And then the singers, there are singers for each girl as well. And I think it's Twice that does most of, I think that's the name of the group that does most of the songs, but I could be wrong. I could be so wrong.
Twice does, yeah, there are a couple of them here.
They do their own version of Takedown, but the all of the songs that we're going to talk about in this is literally just the ones by Huntrix and the
Okay, so I'll skip
there's 7
the initial, I'll skip the initial Takedown.
Yeah,
so, starting it off, How It's Done.
Yeah.
We got How It's Done. Where did it fall on your list?
How It's Done opens the movie, and honestly, it eats so hard, and and it's my number 2. How It's Done is my number 2.
Number 2. All right, I got it number 4.
Wow. Okay.
Number 4. There's a sleeper, dude, that I feel like is not getting a lot of love. And I'm talking like I'm real deep into the conversation online. I literally just watched this movie 15 hours ago.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I don't think it's getting a lot of love. But we're going to talk about it. How It's Done's number 4. Great one.
It's so good. It's an amazing opening sequence. I love that it leads us into like who they are in their first show, and the rapping from Zoe, from all of them. They all kind of get a little bit of a rap in it, but Zoe just goes so hard in that song. And the whole, it's literally all over TikTok with the fit check for my napalm era. It's literally all the lyrics are just amazing. I love it. So that's why it's my number 2. It goes hard. I love a hype me up song. So
by the way, what was her name again?
Zoe?
Yeah, is she at some point I think it's in the opening sequence. I thought she threw out some daggers.
She does.
I was like, yo, Lightforce podcast.
Yes! No, oh my gosh, that's so true. I didn't even think about that.
I saw it and I was like, no way.
She's got light daggers. She does. I didn't even think about that. Holy crap. And Zoe is my favorite, so that actually makes so much sense. Yeah, Zoe literally can pull light daggers out of the air and she throws them at people.
One of them's got a lightsaber, basically.
Yeah, Rumi has a literal lightsaber, and Mira has, I think it's called a glaive. I think that's what it's called.
I don't know.
Which is so fitting for her personality. It's like what the Grim Reaper carries around.
Yeah.
I think it is.
I love how they just pull these weapons out of mid-air.
Yeah.
Obviously, some powers or whatever, but I'm like, dude.
They
She's
just
excellent.
materialize out of thin air. It's crazy.
All right.
But
Next
all right.
up on the album, Soda Pop.
My little soda pop. Yeah. The song that I literally couldn't get out of my head for days. Yeah, that one's my number 6. Get that frickin' song out of here. For what it was supposed to be in the movie, it's perfect. It's one of those songs that like is fast burning and then everyone hates it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everyone loves it at first and then everyone ends up hating it. But
Yeah,
for what it was in the movie, it did its job. And
this
I understand
song would be
it.
on the radio for 2 months straight in real life, and then you'd never hear it.
And everyone
again.
would hate it. Yep.
Yeah. It's
So
number
that's
7 for me because
Okay.
all the other songs, like, I'll listen to these.
Yeah.
I'm not turning Soda Pop on.
No.
This is a song that, like you said, was perfect for the movie, but it comes across annoying.
Yeah.
I don't like.
It is.
I don't like, I'm
It's
not
an
a big
annoying
fan.
pop song.
Yeah.
Congrats, Saj Boys. You made one of those songs that I never want to hear again.
Exactly.
Yep.
Next up, we got Golden. Number 1, dude. It's number 1.
Is it number 1 for you? Wow.
number
It's
one.
number 3 for me. It's number 3. I love Golden, and I was kind of going back and forth with Golden between like 2 and 3. It was going back and forth with how it's done. But I have a clear cut number 1 that I like more than anything else. But Golden is so good. Rumi just eats in that song.
Dude, just a real coming of age song, dude.
Yes.
Am I thinking of the right one? This is where they're talking about themselves and their personalities and stuff, I believe.
No.
What are you talking? No. Well, hold on here. Hold on.
I don't think so, Noah. I think you're thinking of a different one.
Hold on here.
Golden is the single that they release like in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, and then they end up singing it at the award show.
No, that's a different song.
No, yeah, but they start with Golden.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. They don't really like talk
I feel
about
like
their...
this is. Yeah, but then they cut into the music video, and they're
And
all
then they
like,
say it's like the story of us, yeah.
That's what I mean.
But I feel like, sorry, when you said when they're talking about their personalities, that sounds way more like the final song than...
Okay, fair enough.
Golden.
Golden's number 1, dude. That's
Okay.
a hit, bro.
Yeah. It is a hit. It is.
One that I think there's a song called Strategy on here. I think that's just a background.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Next up, we got Takedown. The actual Takedown on here. This is the big one. Well, one
It's a
of the
diss
big
track.
ones.
It's a diss
It's a
track.
diss track. You know, they're having trouble writing this one. Rumi just wasn't feeling the lyrics, dude. But
No.
you know, they come together
Because they were very
5.
aggressive lyrics. I also have it at 5.
I got it at 5. I
do
feel
have it
like
at 5.
all their other songs are just better.
They're just better. Yep. Yep. Takedown is at 5. It's okay. And it's a fun diss track, but it like you said, it's not better than the other songs, so.
No. And there's, again, I got a sleeper up there. Which
No,
we're
you
almost
don't.
there. We're almost there. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I know exactly what it's going to be. Okay, go ahead.
No, you don't. Yes, you do. You probably.
I
Next, we have Your Idol, which was the song the Saja Boys sang when everyone was about real close from getting,
Yeah.
whatever, demonized, whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
Yeah.
This song was, honestly, this is kind of a banger song.
I have it at 7.
All right, well, I have it at 6. Like, it's not
Okay.
better than any of the Huntrick
No.
songs, but
It's
a
my
good
least
song.
favorite song. Like, I think the lyrics are great. I cannot get behind the vibe of the song. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't have a clear-cut, like, rhythm to it. I feel like it's all over the place, and I honestly just don't like it. I really don't like it. Like, Soda Pop at least is catchy, and it's fun. Your Idol, the lyrics are great, but the song itself, like the sound of it, I really don't like it. I don't, and a lot of people love Your Idol, so this
I
is
think
gonna
it's
get
great.
flamed online. But I really don't like it.
There's a line
It's
in
not
there
good.
about we're coming for your hearts, now we're coming for your souls or something like
Yeah.
that. I was like, yo, this
Yeah.
is going crazy
And
right now,
and I
dude.
really love the underlying message and the tone that, you know, music can really it can be used as a weapon, and it is used to like entrance people. It literally, music really can control
Can manipulate.
actual people. Like, it can manipulate in real life, absolutely. And that's exactly what the song was. Loved that that's the message they were going for. Hated the song. I didn't like the song.
Hated the song. Not
Can I
even.
get the mic a little higher? And I was like, what are we saying?
It did take a shift. It went from kind of a serious introduction to then that guy starts singing. And I'm like,
I don't know. I've tried to listen to it multiple times, and I'm just like, I don't even know. This song is just so all over the place. I don't know. Okay.
it's fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
I can't wait to run this album back at the gym tomorrow. Anyway, next up we have Free. This is my number 2.
Free's such a good one, dude. Free is so good, but it falls at my number 4. I love it. Rumi and Jinu's voices sound pristine together. It's such a cool song. It's a completely different vibe than the rest of the songs. I feel like it is very overhated online. I've seen a lot of people,
Yo, don't get me started, dude.
A lot of people don't like Free online from what I've seen when people do rankings online. People don't like Free, and I'm like, that's kind of weird.
Free's my number 2, dude.
It's
That's
really
crazy.
good.
That's ridiculous.
It's really good. We have the freaking same number 1.
No, Golden's my number 1.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, hold on. Don't move forward yet. No, Free is great. It's not
Free?
over. The fact that people are hate. I gotta dive into the lore online when we're done with this podcast.
Yeah.
It's number 2 for me. This was the point in the movie where I went, oh, okay, this is good up until this point, and then I'm watching this scene and I went, this is where I'm talking about. I'm not gonna lie, this is great. Yep. It was during this scene. They're singing to each other.
Romantic.
Hopeless romantic, dude. What can I say? I felt like I was watching Demi Lovato and what's his face Jonas in Camp Rock singing to each other.
Jonas.
Joe Jonas.
Oh my God.
I was like, yo, this is cinema right now. This song's great. Number 2,
so
without
funny.
a doubt.
That's so
now
funny.
and now that I'm finding out that it's hated, overhated, underrated, Free's number 2. Fight me in the comment section.
Fight him.
Next up, actually last one. What It Sounds Like.
Yeah.
The grand finale song.
What It Sounds Like is my number 1. It's so good. And it's like them coming to terms with who they are and not being afraid of who they are anymore. They reconnect. The freaking line that's like, the song we couldn't write, this is what it sounds like. And then when the crowd gets into it too, man, the chills.
Goosies.
Yeah, the crowd gets into it, and you start like levitating in this song. I swear, good, so good.
It's my number 3. Listen, at 1 through 6 are all bangers. It's like 1 through 6, and then there's a big space, and then it's Soda Pop down here for me. Like, I'm just saying.
That's really funny.
I'm still in a bit of shock that people have Free so low apparently, but no, dude. What It Sounds Like, great finale to the movie, which this is one take I have seen. Some people think it's not good enough to be the finale song of the movie. I
have seen that. I think What It Sounds Like is like very underrated online. I haven't seen a lot. There's not a lot of people that clearly love What It Sounds Like as much as the other songs. I'm obsessed with that song. I love this song.
I get. Listen, it's got a lot of competition, but I think it's definitely, like, in my opinion, it's clearly better than Takedown.
Yeah.
Like, just going off the Huntrick songs, like, clearly better.
Yeah.
But I thought it was great. I thought it was a great finale.
I think it's perfect.
Then you see the whole city or whatever just go green, and the sky's like day. I'm like, yo, this is beautiful, dude.
We're levitating. It's healing. I love that song.
And then they hit the spa or whatever afterwards. And then, dude. All right, give me a star rating out of 10 for this entire movie, not just the soundtrack. K-Pop Demon Hunters out of 10 star rating.
Oh man, it's so hard for me to like rate movies. It's like, you know how I'm obsessed with Fantastic Four and I gave it like a 4.5 out of 5. But then I like think about it and I'm like, do I give K-Pop Demon Hunters 5 stars? Do I like it more than I like Fantastic Four? No.
You know what I
mean?
Exactly. I know what you mean, because I thought about the same thing last night when I went to put this on my letterbox and I just said I watched it but didn't put a rating because I didn't know what to put.
Exactly. Because I wish you could go by genre, you know?
Yeah.
Like movies are so different. Like they're so different. And for what K-Pop Demon Hunters is, it's a 5-star movie, you know?
That's fair.
Yeah, I think it's a 5-star movie
for different reasons.
Yeah, for me, I think maybe I'd give it like a 4 or a 4.5. But it is a 5-star movie. But like for me, I think it's maybe like a 4 or a 4.5. Mainly just because there are some elements of it that are just a little too kiddish for me. Like just bits and pieces here and there. That I'm like, oh yeah, this is a kid's movie. Just like the over animation of their emotions sometimes kind of gets me like, it pulled me out of it. It was very unserious.
A couple of them went real like Dragon Ball faces at times. Not
yes,
saying
and
you're
I
familiar,
don't.
But like,
it's not. I don't like that. And it really like gave me whiplash, and I was like, oh.
I forgot I'm watching a kids movie.
yeah. I was like, okay. Yeah, I didn't like. I know that it is a kids movie. It just felt so unserious at times that I was like.
So you're saying if they lock in a little bit more, make it just a little less kiddish for the sequel, we could be looking at another all-timer here. One that's even better 100%. Than the inaugural movie.
Yes, it could be even better. And honestly, for a movie that's completely about them being singers, there's not a lot of songs in the movie. Or maybe I'm crazy. Let me just think about that for a second.
I mean, there's 7 songs in like an hour and 15 minutes.
And the Huntrix have 5. And Huntrix has 5, yeah. I don't know. No, that's wrong. That's wrong to say. That's a lot of songs. And they're great songs. I think it's me being selfish because I just wanted more songs because they were really good.
I feel like you're maybe, and I don't want to say this is what you mean, but like them singing is just like kind of a background to the overall story. It's not like, I don't know. It's not like the whole movie's based around this end competition where it's a battle of the bands or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I mean either.
I don't know. Listen, I think this is, again, out of 5, I'll give it a solid 4.5. I'll give it a solid 4. That 5 is only because it is a kid's movie, and there are, like you said, things that might take me out a little bit.
And there are better kids movies out there. Like, is this movie as good as The Incredibles? No. It's not. No, it's not.
I can list like 15 Disney movies that are better than this. So
yeah,
Disney/Pixar.
It is a 5-star movie, but it's about like what? Hang on. But it's about like what, if we're talking just what Noah and I like, then it's not a 5-star movie like for us.
Yes.
But it is a 5-star movie. I don't want anyone to think.
Move on.
I don't want anyone to think that we're hating on this movie because we're not.
You can come at me in the comments because I'm ready to fight everybody about Free being overhated because that song is great.
And you guys can hate me for not liking Your Idol. I really don't care. It's not a good song. It's
better than Soda Pop. It's better than Soda Pop, but I'll fight
They're both scraping the bottom of the barrel. But we can move on from KPop Demon Hunters. Solid movie. 4.5 out of 5 from both of us. Can't wait for the sequel. I hope they get a little more of a focus on Zoe and Mira in the next movie and not so much on Rumi next movie. I want a little bit more Zoe.
I mean,
she's so cute.
If we have 3 movies, they can each kind of get a movie where the focus
is on them.
A
spotlight. That'd be super cool. Yeah.
All right, moving on. This is, like we said earlier, we are filming this on Thursday, the day before it releases. Yesterday, Wednesday, middle of the day, everyone's just going about their day. Common Wednesday. What's James Gunn do? Feel like breaking the internet today. James Gunn gets on Twitter along with David Cornsweet and Nicholas Hoult, and everybody just drops some Superman, Jim Lee, and there was another artist, I forget his name, I apologize, artwork to announce Superman Man of Tomorrow for July 9th, 2027. I don't know about you, but made my day yesterday, and
it was insane.
I was ecstatic. We've already talked about it. We didn't make a Superman review necessarily because the podcast started a couple weeks later than Superman had come out, but we both loved the movie, especially for people who have never been too emotionally invested in DC. I went into that with no expectations, and I left ready to be seated for whatever comes next. And I'm not really a big TV show guy. I know Peacemaker Season 2 is going on right now, and it's apparently going to have I don't want to say a huge role, but going to play into whatever happens in Superman. A lot of people saying Superman might show up at the end of this, but point is, movie-wise, like, I'm so ecstatic for what DC's doing, and for them to just come out on a random Wednesday, like totally the opposite of what like Marvel would do per se, where it's this whole grandiose event for movies like this to just announce them. James Gunn just says, you know what? Let's announce the Superman sequel, and my goodness, I'm ecstatic.
In 2 years. Like, in 2 years, we're gonna have a Superman sequel. Yeah.
A superhero movie getting a sequel that fast in this day and age is kind of unheard of because everything's always delayed and pushed back and there's always problems anymore. So for them to come around 2 years after this initial Superman movie, fantastic.
I feel like you could kind of compare it to Fantastic Four came out And, you know, if Kevin Feige had come out and been like, so Fantastic Four 2 is coming out in 2 years, that would have been insane. It's unheard of. Marvel doesn't do that. At least they haven't done that in a very long time. I guess you could say it's kind of like, it doesn't really make sense, because if they announced a Fantastic Four sequel, then they'd be kind of giving away that the Fantastic Four survives the events of Doomsday. Yeah. They clearly didn't care about that when they were announcing all the chairs before Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four came out, but that's besides the point. But just as comparison, like, that would be insane if they said Fantastic Four 2 comes out in 2 years. Insane. We are probably going to expect a Fantastic Four movie to come out in 4 years, maybe after Secret Wars, you know? But probably. For a movie to get a sequel, confirmed sequel, especially a superhero movie, in 2 years, and they, with the art that they posted, Lex Luthor is going to be back as the main antagonist again, which is amazing. I'm so glad Nicholas Hoult is coming back. He was so good, and I think the fan reception of him really probably pushed them to be like, okay, yeah, let's bring Lex back. Let's do more with Lex, because him and David have such amazing chemistry, and they're actually hardly on screen at the same time, but they have amazing chemistry together on and off screen. So I'm glad that Lex is going to continue to be the villain, because I think it can kind of get messy and a little bit annoying when you have a different villain every single movie, you know? When you just have
the villain of the week, sometimes it does get old.
Yes, yeah, and it feels more like, I don't know, like a Saturday TV show than it feels like an actual continuing storyline. So I'm really, really glad that Lex Luthor is coming back as in Superman as Lex Luthor. Nicholas Hoult is coming back as Lex Luthor. We love
Lex. 1A!
He's going to be 1Aing all by himself now. Oh my gosh, did you see that suit?
Dude, they posted those pictures. I guess it's called the War Suit. I apologize for our lack of ball knowledge.
Yeah, we're not big on DC. No, we're trying to get there. Sorry.
We're trying to get there. We got 2 years to catch up on more Superman lore. Well, so I'm sure we'll know a few more things the time we go into the cinema in July 2027. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like a lot of the cast is pretty much confirmed to come back. I forget her name, but Lois Lane, her actor's coming back apparently. Justice Gang, signed, sealed, set to be delivered. You know, I'm hype about that. What the hell else was I going to say? Oh, yeah, and then there's a lot of rumors saying Supergirl, Peacemaker, Lobo. Like, it seems like we might have an all-star cast for this movie. And obviously, again, we have Peacemaker Season 2 going on right now, which... So James Gunn is on record in interviews saying we will see Superman again before his sequel movie. So a lot of people think that's going to be in Peacemaker Season 2.
That's fire.
And then we have Supergirl next summer, which Jason Momoa is going to be playing Lobo, and then I'm sure that's going to tie into this. So, like, they're building this cinematic universe fast.
They're cooking.
But not in a way that it's like, yo, slow down. You're putting too many pieces on the table. Like, they're cooking. They're doing things. They're giving the people what they want, which was a Superman sequel. They're not rushing in to be like, we got to get Superman and Batman back on the same screen or anything like that. I'm hyped. I'm hyped for this movie.
Yep, James Gunn is masterful. So there's no doubt in my mind that it's going to be another amazing installment into the DC universe. Isabella Merced even posted it on her story and said, see you soon. So, hey, you're probably right about Justice Gang coming back. As far as like Superman showing up in a project before the Superman sequel, I feel like it would make a lot more sense if that would be in Supergirl and maybe not necessarily in Peacemaker, but I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing David Gordon Sweat again in anything, because that is our Superman. Like, Noah and I came out of Superman, like, David Gordon Sweat is our Superman. Like, we weren't like other people that saw Henry Cavill in Man of Steel and was like, wow, that's our Superman. You know, kind of like the same with Andrew Garfield as my Spider-Man, but, you know, someone growing up now, Tom Holland is their Spider-Man. But I feel like as far as our venture into the DC fandom, that would be
I'm a David guy
for us. Yeah, we're big David Corn Sweat.
And not for nothing, but this might be I don't know if it's actually a hot take, because I feel like a lot of people online are pretty 50-50. Never seen Man of Steel or anything from that Snyder era. Not gonna. But every time I see a clip, I'm like, I see why this didn't work out. Like, every time funny. I'm just like, dude, David clears this guy. And listen, no disrespect to Henry Cavill, but yeah, I'm on David's team
I just
all day
don't
long,
think
bro.
the people that were writing and Zack Snyder, I don't think they necessarily understood who Superman was supposed to be the way that James and David clearly
Yeah.
understand who Superman's supposed to be. And maybe they did know who Superman was supposed to be, but they wanted to give us a very different Superman back then. And they
Hmm.
definitely did. A Superman that clearly didn't care about casualties and a very dark and gray and solemn DC universe
Ugh.
and a very serious and kind of unfeeling
Put me to
Superman.
bed, tuck me in, bro. Like, I'm
But
good.
no, David is amazing. Like a bleeding heart Superman. He's just so incredible. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see him again. And in 2 years, like we don't even have to wait that long, dude. I'm so
And it's not
excited.
like we don't have stuff to buffer from now till then. Like, I keep saying Peacemaker's going on right now. Next year we have Superman, or I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
Supergirl and Clayface, and then
Mm-hmm.
2027 Superman and the Batman Part 2, which a lot of people are still speculating if Robert Pattinson's Batman is going to be the DCU Batman. I'm sure
Right.
by the time 2027 comes around, we'll either find out then
We'll have a
in
more
those
clear
movies.
answer.
Yeah, if
Mm-hmm.
we don't know by the time those movies come out, even though I'm sure we'll probably. We got 2 years of speculation, so I'm sure we're going to find out something. But if for some reason we don't know if Robert Pattinson's Batman is going to be the DCU Batman, the time these movies comes out, I'm sure
Yeah.
that's going to clear the air because you obviously have to have Batman in the DCU and plenty of time. You don't got to rush things necessarily, but I don't know. It's going to be a big year big 2 years really for DC fans. Plus, I believe that Lanterns show comes out next
It
year,
does, yeah.
and I feel
I'm
like there might
hoping
have
we
been
get a
something else
lot
too.
more Guy because Guy is
Guys,
so amazing. I can't even, you know how different the movie would feel if Guy wasn't in Superman? I don't know. I loved Guy. What an amazing, amazing casting choice. Nathan Fillion, I think is his last name. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Obviously a Guardians 3 guy that James Gunn pulled into Superman to play Guy. A different version of the Green Lantern. I guess he is a Green Lantern. He's just not gosh, I forget the original Green Lantern's name
no, I know what you
already.
mean because there's a bunch of different
There's
lanterns.
so many, and as Noah said, we're still getting into our DC ball
Don't hurt our
knowledge.
feelings in the comments.
So I can't rattle off the names off the top of my head. But I just love Guy. It was such a perfect casting for him, and I can't wait to see more of him. He's hilarious. So I'm
He'll be
excited
back.
for Lanterns.
Mr. Terrific will be back in Superman. Isabella Marcet will be back in Superman. Let's go. I will be suited. Exactly.
She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
But dude, 2027 kind of turned out to be a stacked year. Like we talked
Mhm.
about our 2026 most anticipated movies a couple episodes ago. Go watch that or listen if you haven't. But
Yes.
2027, and I didn't even write all the movies down because there was some stuff that I was like, "Whoa, might be individually interested in," but just the stuff that I know we'll both probably end up go seeing. 2027, Superman, Man of Tomorrow. I'm sure by then we're gonna. Did you watch the Robert Pattinson Batman movie?
No.
All right, so neither did I, but I'm sure by then we're both going to
We'll
watch
get
it and
there.
go see
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
new one.
we'll
So
get
we'll
there.
have that. 2027 is also Star Wars Starfighter. Ice Age Boiling Point officially has a name after D23. Avengers Secret Wars, if it doesn't get pushed back, which I feel like maybe it will. We'll see. Shrek 5, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, which has got delayed like 3 times, I think, by now, but point is 2027. And Sonic 4. And there's more, dude. And there's more.
Of course, yeah.
So
No.
2027 is stacked.
And wait, so Ice Age, did it get pushed back to 2027?
Yeah, because remember... Wait, hold on.
No,
It got
Ice
put-
Age
it
is
got the
supposed to be
delayed-
going up against Doomsday.
Yeah, but hold on. I feel like I saw something over the weekend that
Maybe
said...
at D23 they announced it's getting pushed back. I mean, I would shudder to think that Ice Age 6 would want to come out the same day as
Yeah.
Avengers Doomsday and Dune 3. That would be wild.
This is saying February 5th, 2027.
Okay, so it did get pushed back. Okay,
And that's
all right.
IMDb,
That's fair.
so yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know.
understand that.
I don't know why anybody would want to go head-to-head with an
No.
Avengers movie. But...
No, but and you know what? This might be a crazy thing to say because I think at D23, did they talk about Secret Wars at D23 at all?
They talked that they barely did something for Doomsday. The
Yeah,
Russo
so
brothers
probably
and
nothing
Paul
on
Rudd evidently
yeah.
popped up on screen. It was like, oh, we're on the set of Doomsday, everything's going great or whatever. And then evidently they was like some sizzle reel shown, but I don't think it was new footage. If any
Mm.
footage at all, it was just like lines from old actors, like from previous movies they've been in.
I
So
think I
like,
saw that Tom
yeah,
Hiddleston had like there was a Tom Hiddleston line delivered. I don't know if it was
yeah.
new, if it was a new line or if it's from Doomsday or what, but I know Tom Hiddleston's voice made an appearance at D23.
Yeah, I think that's all it was for Marvel in general was that Doomsday thing. I don't think they went too
Mm.
crazy.
I think Secret Wars, it's unheard of for two Avengers movies to come out within 2 years of within a year of each other. Like,
Yeah.
I think Secret Wars, I don't know what day exact or what month they said it will come out. If it's not in December already, December 2027, that movie is going to get pushed back. There's
Well,
no way that
yeah.
movie doesn't get pushed back. There's
I
no
think
way.
originally it was Doomsday in May of next year, and then Secret
Right.
Wars in May of 2027. But then they pushed back Doomsday, so that
Yeah.
currently, if Secret Wars didn't move, it'd be Avengers in December 2026, and then May of 2027. But I'm
There's
like,
no
that
way.
feels
There's
way too
no
close.
way that happens. No.
When they're probably not even done filming Doomsday alone. So
No,
I could definitely
no.
see Secret Wars getting pushed back to December. If it gets pushed back to 2028, that's going to suck. But December 2027,
Yeah.
that would not surprise me at all.
No, I'm sure they're already like, okay, we're just going to do it in December of 2027, but I would not be surprised if it got pushed back to 2028. And you know what? As far as like Marvel movies and especially Avengers movies, I'm never going to be mad about it getting pushed back because I would much rather they take their time on that than botch an Avengers movie. That would be
And there
sad.
has been a rumor for the longest time, and I continued to come across the rumor as I was getting together what some of the movies were for 2027.
Mm-hmm.
Evidently, there's some unannounced, rumored Marvel movie for, I want to say the summer of 2027, but I could be wrong about the exact time period. But it is 2027. A lot of people think it might be a Doctor Strange movie or something like that, but there's no word on that. I don't know if that's going to be, a set thing. And then I also remember, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the director of Thunderbolts, whatever his name was, is who's doing the first X-Men movie under Marvel.
Yes, I
And that
also
was-
forget his name. Oh my
but
gosh.
that was, I think, originally like they were trying for like late 2027 for that, if not real early 2028. So like that's going to be kind of the, honestly, maybe my least favorite part if Secret Wars gets pushed back, because then that means X-Men's going to get pushed back.
Yeah,
And then probably
that's
Fantastic
true.
Four gets pushed back, and it's like, ugh.
But not necessarily, because Doomsday getting pushed back did not affect Spider-Man. It didn't affect Spider-Man. Spider-Man was always supposed to come out in July. They just completely bunny hopped over it and put it behind.
I wonder
Put
if that's
Doomsday behind it.
I wonder if they just didn't move Spider-Man though, because they were like, they already had the story in place, and they were like, it really doesn't matter too much if this comes out before or after. And maybe because like we talked about last week, not to get into it, but like I feel like the only crazy Doomsday tie-ins are going to be maybe like the end
An
of the
end
movie or
credit scene.
post-credit scene, like
Yeah.
something like that. So
Gotta be, yeah.
I don't know, but there, like I said, there's more coming out in 2027. That's just the baseline of it, stuff we've talked about. People out there, you can go find the list and comment, what you're most excited for in 2027. But that's going to be another stacked year of movies, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If Secret Wars doesn't come out in 2027, I can honestly and confidently say that Sonic 4 is going to be my most anticipated movie of 2027. You
Over
guys,
Superman, dude? I mean, you're a big Sonic fan. I get it.
it's a big deal for me.
Yeah.
We're talking like a video game franchise has never been this successful on the big screen, and it got not one, not two, not three, but 4 movies. And like, I feel like we could possibly get more, and they cooked with the 3rd one, so there's no reason to believe that the 4th one isn't going to be great. And Amy is going to be in it, and maybe more could be in it, and Shadow's coming back. Honestly, I think it's still a rumor that Shadow might get his own little mini series on Paramount. Please. I
Did you
really hope
watch
that's
that
true.
Knuckles series that came out like last year?
Yeah, I did.
Was it good or no?
No. It makes me sad because it's not really like about Knuckles. It's about that goofy cop. I think his name's Wade. It's like way more about him than it is about Knuckles. But I watched
the
it
old
because
bait and switch.
Yeah, and I watched it because I love Knuckles, and obviously I love Sonic, and I love Idris as Knuckles. But man, it was pretty disappointing. But I just love Knuckles, and you got some like great Knuckles moments in the show, so it kind of like made up for it. But I wouldn't recommend watching it.
It is kind of crazy how fast they're cooking with the Sonic franchise, though. Because when did that first movie come out? 2020,
Holy frick.
2021?
I think it was 2022. I think it was 2020.
Hold on, now
No. It was 20. I think it was 21, like you said. It was either 20 or 21.
2020.
Because, yes, 2020, Sonic 1. And then I remember because Parker and I, when we were still in college, I made Parker take me to see Sonic 2 because no one else wanted to go. And so Parker and I went to see Sonic 2. I think it was literally 2022 because I think it came out in the spring.
Yeah, it was pretty fast.
And we were like the only ones in that theater. And I was laughing like the whole time. It was really fun, man. And that was when Knuckles and Tails were introduced. It was so fun. And I just love the balls of Sega to just go ahead and be like, yeah, they already, in Sonic 3, they teased, yeah, we're going to go ahead and make a Sonic 4. Like, we know this movie's going to hit. We know we're going to have audiences, like, locked in. We're going to make a Sonic 4. And they did that with the first one and the second. Like, every Sonic movie has teased the next movie. And I think that's really ballsy for a video game franchise. It's really, really ballsy.
Dude,
I don't even think that the Mario movie teased a second movie. So...
Dude, Sonic came out swinging. The only backlash I've seen from this franchise was when they were initially making the first movie. We already talked about this. The first look at Sonic came out, and everybody was like, what the hell is that? And it was scary? Yeah, and either they fixed it, or like we talked about, it was completely a publicity stunt, and they knew it looked bad. But either way, that was literally the only time I've ever seen anybody say anything negative about these movies. Outside of like, the Knuckles show, but whatever. The movies, though, every time they come out, the hype around them is real, and like you said, like, they're cooking fat. Like, 2027 is not far away from a movie that had its first installment, or a series that had its first installment in 2020. Like, that's
4 movies in 7 years is kind of crazy. I think 4 movies in 7 years, like, that's crazy. So I'm very, and a show, like, they're they're really on top of it, and I love you, Sonic. I literally love it so much. Oh man, I can't wait. But yeah, we'll move away from Sonic.
That's 2027, excuse me. There really wasn't much coming out of D23, which was this past weekend. I don't know if it was in Orlando or Anaheim or where it was. But
I think it's always in Orlando.
Is it? I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah, D23 was this past weekend. I feel like last year we were popping at a D23. I feel like Marvel had some stuff. Star Wars was obviously talking about Mando and Grogu a lot. Really wasn't much this year. Obviously, Marvel said basically nothing. I think there were some new looks at Mando and Grogu, which were floating around online. But besides that, there really wasn't much to talk about. Toy Story 5 showed a trailer that obviously everybody tried to record and put online, but that's obviously been ripped down ever since. But anybody who is interested in Toy Story 5, evidently, rumors are saying the first look at the movie will be shown in theaters during the original Toy Story's re-release on September 12th, which is next week, I believe. So
okay,
I don't know if it's going to be a full-blown trailer, or if it's just going to be like a little...
Just a teaser.
Yeah, but
that's cool, though.
Rumor floating around online. I know you're not super hyped for Toy Story 5. I'm not necessarily through the roof of it either.
But we're going to be stat for it. Yeah, we're going to go see it for sure. Toy Story is a big part of our lives. We're those 2000s kids, so...
1999, thank you.
But we are 2000s kids.
I know.
You idiot. Come on.
Hey, I was alive for like a whole year before.
You were an infant. No brain waves were firing when you were that age. Okay.
I was alive. January 14th. Everybody remember it. So when we post that week's podcast, everybody says happy birthday. Incredibles 3. Incredibles 3. Coco 2. Slated for 2028 or beyond. But that was really it. Like, newsworthy wise from D23. I mean, there was some stuff at the parks, but there wasn't anything like movie or show wise that we would talk about.
I don't think Coco 2 is a necessary film. Yeah. And you know that it's not necessary when it takes them that long to be like, you know what, maybe we should go make a second Coco movie. And Coco was so well received, so beautifully done. It's a very, very good movie, and I don't understand why they're gonna.
I know. This is like how you were just talking about. Like, Sonic knew basically, like, they're gonna leave you hanging with something at the end of every movie. because they know they're making more movies. But Disney keeps doing this thing. It's a tale as old as time. You know, there's a Little Mermaid 2. There's a Beauty and the Beast 2 or
Hey,
whatever
I
it's called.
love The Little Mermaid too.
Yeah, but
Okay.
nobody talks about those movies for
No.
a reason. And for whatever reason, Disney, all like 20, 30 years later, is still doing this. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you know what was a hit? Coco.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make a second one. It's like, bro, just leave it, bro. Just leave it.
Yeah. It's like, are they making a Frozen 3?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
actually talked about for, I think that's part of the 2028 or beyond, but it didn't have a set thing, but that was shown, yeah.
Also unnecessary, but hey, you know what? I do enjoy having more content to talk about and to enjoy.
Sure.
But, you know, we
There's-
always say, original content is also nice to have
Yeah.
too, and not necessarily continuations of revisited characters that already kind of had a story tied up in a nice little bow. So, yeah.
It's not to say there hasn't been good sequels. Incredibles
Right.
2, good. Frozen
was
2,
good.
I liked.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. Frozen 2, I liked.
It was
Toy
okay.
Story 2 back in the day is, I don't want to say it's just as good as the original,
Oh, it's
but
very good.
it's pretty close,
And Toy
dude.
Story 3 was a perfect ending.
That's
so
what
that's
I'm
why
saying.
it was kind of sad when they were like, let's milk that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Now we got 4, which was not good. And then
It's-
5, which is, who knows how that's
Who
going to be.
knows? It's not to
But-
say sequels and whatever can't be good and shouldn't be done, but pick your spot.
It makes you
that's all I'm
nervous a
saying.
little bit. Yeah, it makes
does
you
make
nervous.
you
You got to
nervous.
pick your battles with sequels. But yeah, I'm excited for Incredibles 3. I thought Incredibles 2 was good. I don't think it was as good as the first one.
No.
I really liked the family dynamic. I really liked what they did with Elastigirl. She was really cool. I liked the mystery behind like the whole plot and the crime and everything that was going on. That was really cool. I didn't love the silly extra superheroes they added in. You know how
Honestly,
like
I
in
only
the
saw
original
one, so I don't even remember too
Oh,
much.
okay. Well, you know how in the original Incredibles, like all of the other heroes that they just very briefly talk about are super cool looking. Like they're
Mhm.
Gazer Beam and like all those, they're really cool. And
Yeah.
then you get to the second one and they're kind of like all a little bit silly. And like Void has really cool powers, but then you got the guy that reflux that literally throws up everywhere, and then the guy, the crusher, I don't know, they were very silly. I don't think they were very cool, but I did like Incredibles 2, so I am excited for Incredibles 3.
Like you said, we'll be seated, we'll watch, we'll talk, but I don't know. Those are coming out for a while though, you know, so we got some time to figure out what's going on there. This wasn't necessarily, I don't think, part of D23, but it did come out over the weekend. Star Wars Starfighter, which we briefly brung up, was coming out in 2027. Ryan Gosling's in it. Sean Levy, who did Deadpool and Wolverine, is directing it. I think they put out, like, the whole main cast over the weekend. And the only reason I wrote this down is because there was one question that a lot of people are having online, so I wanted to throw it out. You could talk about it. The main, like, picture that they used to announce it was Ryan Gosling and this young actor whose name is Flynn Gray. I'm not familiar with him, but kind of a cool name. Good for the kid. Flynn Gray, dude. Like, you know he's the coolest kid in school.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, dude. But they were both just sitting on the, I think it was a Land Cruiser, or at least something that resembled it. And people were just talking, just bringing up the fact that, is this going to be another Star Wars story where you have a reluctant adult hero and his young Padawan, or whatever you want to call it. Not that he's a Jedi, but
another found family,
another
trope.
Mando Grogu, another
reluctant father figure.
Yes, Hunter Omega. Is that where Starfighter's heading? If that is the case, what are your thoughts? Because this will be like a lot that we're like. How many times are we going to go back to that story?
Yeah, I don't necessarily have a problem with it because, you know, when Skeleton Crew came out, people didn't love that it was a whole cast full of kids and that you had to believe that these kids were capable of doing all these, you know, crazy things and defeating this big problem. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong and maybe that wasn't the audience speculation, but I do remember people not maybe necessarily loving it because it was a bunch of kids. We were watching a bunch of kids.
All new characters too, so it's a lot to invest into.
Yeah, and I enjoyed Skeleton Crew. I thought it was fun, but I think that for Star Wars, I think you do have to keep a certain level of children involved in it. You know what I mean? Like, obviously the original trilogy didn't necessarily need it. But Luke and Leia were young kids, you know. Han
Yeah.
literally calls Luke a kid the whole time. Like, these are I think that it's still really cool to have that kind of dynamic, like Hunter and Omega, like Mando and Grogu, like Anakin and Ahsoka. I mean, that's kind of like the ABCs of Star Wars at this point. If they do it, and if they do it well, I don't think anyone will have a problem with it. But maybe it could be something like completely different. It
Yeah.
really could. Um, so I'm excited for it. I think that that young actor is relatively unknown. We love having unknown actors in Star Wars. As far as the rest of the cast, they're very well known. So
Yeah, I didn't even write down the rest of the cast.
I'm
I'm
pretty
not
sure
really a huge
it's
like
Amy
actor guy,
Adams.
so
Amy Adams is in it, which is a little surprising. I wasn't expecting to see her on there. Maya Goth or Maya Goth, I don't know how to say her last name. She's going to be in it too. I think she's a really, really cool casting. I kind of hope she's on like the bad side because I can see her as like a villain, and I think that'd be cool. I forget the name of the man that's playing the main villain as well. I'm bad with names, like,
Matt
guys.
Smith.
I'm sorry. Yes, he just looks like he's part of the Empire, so I'm really excited to see him too.
He does.
Feel like there was someone else that I'm missing, but it's a very
Ryan
stacked
Gosling,
cast.
Maya Goth, Amy Adams, Flynn Gray,
Yep.
Matt Smith, Simon Bird, Aaron Pierre, Daniel. I don't know how to say his last name.
It's a pretty stacked cast. It's a very interesting cast. I don't necessarily have a problem with it. Like, going back to it, if they do another found family father figure trope, I don't really have a problem with it. I can understand if there's some fatigue with it, but if they do it well, I don't think anyone's really going to have a problem with it. And you know what? If it weren't for The Mandalorian going to the big screen in May, then we wouldn't be seeing that trope on the big screen. You know, it would kind of be a newer thing that we'd be seeing on the big screen. A lot of mainstream Star Wars fans didn't watch The Bad Batch. So, you know, maybe that a lot of people won't even think about that. A lot of people just watch the Star Wars movies, which is totally fine. So I don't know. I'm excited for it. I think it's always a good time when we have that kind of dynamic. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, the things I compare it to, like Mando and Grogu, Hunter and Omega, you said Anakin and Ahsoka, like, yeah, it's been done, but they've all been great. So I'm not necessarily opposed to it, especially because I am excited for this movie. Like, there's been talk over the weekend as well, like, this really isn't going to have much to do with the aftermath of the sequels. I think somebody said it's going to be like 5 years after Rise of Skywalker, and I'm sure you're going to get little story bites here and there, little remnants of what's going on 5 years removed from those events. But obviously this doesn't seem like it's going to be a necessarily episode 10 or anything like that. It's going to be the direct, you know, follow-up to that story. So even though I'm sure we're going to get a couple of story tropes in there, it does seem like it's just going to be, as advertised, like its own standalone thing. I'm excited for it. I really can't see how they can go wrong here. Ryan Gosling's obviously great, and like we already said, like that whole young and old actor, you know, trope, although it's been done, has been executed pretty well. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. We got 2 years still, so.
Yeah, and you know what? I know we kind of skimmed over Mandalorian and Grogu, like the teaser pictures and scenes that were shown during D23. Zeb looks like he's going to be a very prominent character and kind of not just so much of a background character. I can't wait to see Zeb and Mando's dynamic, and he looks so good. I know I sing the praises of Rebels all the time, but Zeb is just so, I love Zeb so much. So I'm so excited to see him on the big screen.
Yeah, Mando and Grogu is going to be great. Obviously, I'm looking forward to that way more because we know Mando. We've watched this guy through 3 seasons of Disney Plus television. We're attached to this character. We're attached to these characters. So obviously, I'm looking forward to that more. But Starfighter, I'm keeping an open mind. I'm kind of going into it like it's a. I don't know. Not that I'm a huge, Andor fan necessarily, but it's like something that's attached to Star Wars, obviously, but it still feels like its own thing, and that's kind of the mindset I have going into Starfighter. Like, it's obviously going to be very Star Wars heavy with the elements. I mean, this guy's literally going to be a Starfighter, freaking, pilot or whatever. So it's going to feel like Star Wars, but it's going to feel like its own thing most likely. And I don't know. I think it could turn out to be a fun movie. So,
and we're very excited for Ryan Gosling. He's great.
You can't go wrong with that guy, dude. He's just Ken, and now he's taking it to the stars, dude.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else major news-wise. There was two little things that I picked up from just like interviews that people were talking about over the weekend. One of them actually might have been 2 weekends ago, but I thought we might as well bring it up here because I know especially you feel pretty one way about this. But John, how do you say his last name? Because I'm going to butcher it.
Bernthal?
No, Finn.
Oh, John Boyega.
Yeah, I always butcher it. I don't know why. I can't talk.
It's exactly how it sounds.
Yeah.
Or how it's spelled. Yeah.
Whoops. But he was interviewed at DragonCon, was this past weekend or 2 weeks ago. Grayson from Words FM, who was on the podcast last week, was there. Go listen to last week's episode. And he was asked by whoever was interviewing him if he would like to see, what he would like to see from the Finn character if he were to return in a future Star Wars project. And he replied, something with a lightsaber. Yeah. How do you feel about that? Because I know you feel very strongly at the fact that Finn was nerfed because he didn't get a lightsaber.
He was. They just kind of threw him on the back burner for no reason in the sequels, just because, you know, they had no idea what they wanted to do, and they clearly didn't have a clear-cut direction for the sequels. I think Finn obviously should have been used as he was advertised as the first ever Stormtrooper turned Jedi. It was very, very clear that he was Force sensitive in that first movie. He picked up a lightsaber and like actually held his own against Kylo Ren a little bit. And to me, that was really, really, really cool. Like so cool. And it got me so hyped. And that was my first time seeing a Star Wars movie in theaters. So, and I loved Rey and Finn and Poe. I loved them. And it was just so heartbreaking to see those characters get butchered in the following two movies. So any opportunity to see them get their due diligence and get the story that they deserve, especially Finn actually becoming a Jedi and not just us seeing him with the lightsaber and becoming a Jedi in a Lego Star Wars movie, would be really, really cool.
It doesn't count, Lucasfilm. You're going to do better than that.
Yeah, you're not getting away with that. Yeah. I need more than that. And like, I'm so glad.
I'll take it, but
I don't know. I'm really glad that John Boyega is so open to it. It sounds like he's a lot more open to it than he used to be. It sounds like he's excited about it. So I hope that they are listening. I hope that something's in the works, because John Boyega and honestly, all of them in the sequels deserve better. But Oscar Isaac has also been talking a little bit more about how he would be open to coming back in a Star Wars story, and he also deserved better than what he got. And of course Daisy Ridley does too, but we already know Daisy Ridley is coming back in some way, shape, or form.
Sure.
As seen at Star Wars Celebration. So I'm not really too worried about her. She's gonna have an opportunity to have a better story done, but John Boyega and Oscar Isaac also deserve more. So
if there was ever a movie for Poe Dameron to pop up in,
it would be Starfighter, right?
I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand. If they're gonna throw anybody familiar in there, 5 years after Rise of Skywalker, not necessarily connected to the story, but it's not too far off the timeline.
Yep. And I
cool.
heard this could mean nothing. I heard since Gina Carano won her case against Disney, I heard that Rangers of the Republic is back on the table, which was supposed to be a show that followed her and I think Carson Teva and I think maybe possibly Zeb. I don't know. It was a lot of the Rangers of the Republic. And I think that would be another really cool like way to get Oscar Isaac back in it. Whether he would want to be Disney Plus like that, probably not. But you know what? Moon Knight was a Disney Plus project, okay? So maybe.
If they were to put Rangers of the Republic back on the table, bro, I feel like you kind of got enough star power to make it a movie.
Yeah.
I'm not saying these are like the all-stars, right? But like then all the names you just named, maybe add one more in there that's kind of a heavy hitter. I don't know. Maybe not even a heavy hitter, but just some kind of familiar face to give us that ensemble that's just like, yo, this could actually make for a hell of a movie. Dude, put it in. I'm such a movie guy, dude.
Yeah. Noah's like, no more shows.
No more
please.
shows, dude. I just 2.5 hours or 6 hour long episodes, 7 hour long episodes. Give me the movie all day long, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my Disney Plus subscription. You don't gotta worry. You got too much of a good back catalog. I don't need original content. I just need the old shit on there. But no, listen, I feel the same way about Finn. I want to see him back. I'm sure we're gonna get some kind of episode 10 eventually, maybe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars movies have been so all over the place, obviously. We like you just said, we know Rey's going to be back on our screen eventually, but we don't even know in what way, shape, or form. It's this, it's that, and then it changes, and there's a script, and then there's not, and it's just like, who knows what the truth is. Eventually, she's going to be back on the screen. If that's the case, just, yeah, let's go. Let's get episode 10, 11, 12. I don't know what the story is. I don't know what the basis is. Not my job to figure out. But I'll tell you this, if we can get Finn holding a lightsaber, I'm gonna be seated.
I would be so happy. I love John Boyega, so I just can't wait for that to happen. It has to happen. I honestly don't doubt that it will happen in some form, but I hope it's soon. Because I want to see it soon.
How cool, and obviously some things throughout the sequels would then have to change for this to happen. But think about how cool that last movie would have been if it was Finn and Rey side by side with their lightsabers against Kylo Ren and Palpatine.
Yeah.
Just
and you
saying.
can't, and this is going to be a tangent, and I will shut up about it right afterwards. There is a clear romantic chemistry between Finn and Rey in The Force Awakens. And the way that it pivots to Kylo, and there are a lot of Reylo people, but I'm not one of them. The way it pivots like that is just so irritating to me, because Finn and Rey could have both found a connection because they're both Force sensitive. They were thrown into this world and they had this big thing for them to defeat, and they could have done it together. Like you said, it would have been really cool to see them like come into their knowledge of the Force and really connect with each other in that way. The pivot to Reylo is painful to watch for me, because they literally, like, Finn was enamored with Rey in the first movie, and then the move to him and Rose, it's just painful. It's really painful. So, yeah, you're right. I would have loved to see Finn and Rey get that
Finn and Rey side by side.
Romantic story that they had.
You could even had Ben. You still could have had the thing with Kylo, leave the dark side, become Ben Solo. Imagine all three of them lined up, ready to fight Palpatine, dude. That could have been cinema. Anyway.
Or anyone other than Palpatine.
Oh yeah, anybody. I'm just going
Palpatine.
based off like kind of what we have, but yeah, anything other,
yeah.
obviously. If we were gonna change the whole thing, we'd be here forever. But
yeah.
I think we both want Finn back, and I think we both want him with a lightsaber in hand. Another thing, going from Star Wars to Marvel. This is the last thing I have here. Chris Hemsworth was asked in an interview with BBC News. That's exactly what it's called. On if Thor 5 will happen. He answered, I don't know. We will see where Avengers Doomsday goes. We'll sort of unpack all of that. We're sort of unpacking, I should say, all of that as we speak and figuring out where each of these characters go. I know you're not a big Love and Thunder girl. I've never seen it. Not sure if I'm going to see it. But obviously we know Chris Hemsworth is going to be in Doomsday. I assume he's going to be in Secret Wars as well. Do you want a Thor 5? That's really what I'm here to question.
I do, because he deserves better than what he got. And depending on what they do with his character in Doomsday, obviously that will greatly determine whether he'll get a 5th movie or not. I do blame the Russos a little bit for butchering him. Butchering to the point of no return, honestly. And so I hope that they redeem themselves and redeem him as a character in Doomsday, because Chris Hemsworth deserves better. Not even just Thor, but Chris Hemsworth deserves better than what he got. You know, the other 6 are so widely loved, and they've all had really great stories that have gone along with the other 5 of the original Avengers. But Thor has just been tossed around. Okay, no, not... Sorry, I forget about him all the time. Yeah, no, not Hulk.
It's Hulk and Thor over here, like, begging to be revitalized, and then it's the rest of the other ones.
It's not good. So everything I just said was a lie, but I feel like Hulk and Thor deserve to have their characters redeemed, and so that they are back to, you know, being widely loved and celebrated as some of the original 6 Avengers. So I guess whether he survives Doomsday or not, I hope he does get a Thor 5, because I think he deserves a better ending to his solo movies than Love and Thunder. For that to be the last Thor movie we get would be just such a crime. I just really hope he doesn't die in Doomsday. That will rip my heart out.
No, at the very least, he's got to make it to Secret Wars.
I hope so.
And, like, at the end of the day, like, this guy's a god. We don't need to kill him off. He could just be, off-world or something, like they said in, well, they said in one of the movies, they were like, where's Thor? He's off-world. And that was enough. But no, dude, I'm definitely I'm open to a Thor 5. Endgame was pretty brutal. And then from what I heard, Love and Thunder didn't really do anybody any favors. So there's obviously some work to do with the Thor character, but realistically, everybody already loves Thor. We know he's a badass. It's not going to take, I don't think, some people think it's irreversible damage. I don't think it would take too much to get Thor back on the right track. This guy just needs to have one good movie, like a Doomsday or Secret Wars, where he comes out Infinity War style. Obviously, with, Infinity War, he's depressed, he's emotional, but he has his badass moments. I feel like that's all you need for Thor to kind of revitalize him. Same thing with Hulk, and I think we'll get that, hopefully, we'll get that Savage Hulk in Brand New Day next year. It only takes one good outing to turn away a beloved character. It's not like we're talking about a character that nobody wants to see anymore. Everybody's over. Like, it's Chris Hemsworth Thor. We're talking about a top dog, one of the big MCU 3 from this era of, Marvel movies.
He's a founding father.
He's literally a founding father of the MCU. Come on now. Give me a Thor 5 after a Doomsday or a Secret Wars. If Chris Hemsworth is still Thor and there's a proper story to be told, then yeah. Why not? I mean, then we can go into another conversation about how we both want, after Secret Wars, Marvel to focus on, X-Men and Fantastic Four and 2 more Spider-Man movies. That's another conversation. But if there's a Thor story to be told, yeah, sign me up for a Thor 5. Just let's not repeat the same mistakes.
Yes, do him justice. That I would like him to have a better story told, for sure. Especially, if they plan on ending Thor's story soon, I just hope that it's in a better way than what they've done in the past for him. But yeah, we could go on all day about that.
Well, I mean, at the very least, we know, I assume that come Doomsday or Secret Wars, we are going to find out why Thor was crying holding Deadpool, so...
Dude, yeah, if Deadpool... But Thor looked like he was dying in that, though. No, Deadpool looked like he was dying. No, Thor was holding him. Okay,
Listen, Deadpool dies. I'm not going to be like, oh, no. I'm
like, yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't dislike Deadpool at all. I'm just like, he's not like some
he's
top...
not my favorite.
I like so many people more than Deadpool. And maybe that's just because he was outside of the MCU for so long, and I'm way more attached to so much more of the MCU.
He's not very likable, in my opinion, so...
Some would say not even in real life either, but we're not here to talk about that. But I don't know. I think that's all I got for this week. We talked about pretty much everything. D23.
Noah just watched Thunderbolts. We should hear about what Noah thinks about Thunderbolts.
Did watch it on Disney Plus. I gotta say, man, like, I don't know if it's in my top 10 MCU movies, which we still have to do, by the way. We should do that next week because we pushed that off.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in my top 10 MCU movies, but bro. What a film. Everything hits. Everything. Yep. The comedy, the sad parts, the action, the messaging, the music, Bob. Like, this movie is incredible.
Dude, yeah, the music is peak. Like, we rewatched it recently, or maybe it was just me. I rewatched it recently. And just the music, I was like, man, the Sentry music... Bucky getting his own theme that isn't the screaming Winter Soldier theme.
Yeah.
The Thunderbolts song itself is peak. Like, man. And they just did so well with every character other than Taskmaster. Spoilers. That it needed to happen. But yeah, I can't wait to see. Because everyone, I feel like going into Thunderbolts way back and earlier in the year, everyone's like, why should we care about them? They all just like, they're all like agents. They all just shoot and fight, and that's it, other than Ghost. But now I feel like, man, I am so excited to see them in Doomsday. So excited. Yeah, especially if Bob goes full Sentry mode, and man.
He's not just going to be, doing the dishes in Doomsday. He's going to need to, they're going to figure out some way to get this guy in the action. But man, I watched Black Widow for the first time about a week before I watched Thunderbolts, because I was like, dude, I just want to watch Thunderbolts. They're like, listen, watch Black Widow beforehand. I was like, fine. And Yelena does a lot of heavy lifting in that movie. Don't get me wrong, Black Widow herself, great. Red Guardian, whatever, what's his name, Alexei, great.
Yep.
Like, I think it's a solid movie, it's good. But take Yelena out of that, completely different. She does a lot of heavy lifting, and I feel like this movie, kind of being centered, not necessarily centered around her, but her being one of the main characters was like, like,
She's
talk
the
about
leader.
it. She's fantastic in this role.
Yeah,
dude.
and she's
Florence
the leader.
Pugh,
And
awesome.
I think the way that we do see, like, yeah, Yelena is actually the clear-cut leader is, like, in the end credit scene, which I'm obsessed with. Bucky has such a good hairstyle. Like, that is
I
peak
know.
Bucky hairstyle in the end
His
credit
beard
scene.
in this movie too, or what was the post-credit scene? I was like, yo, this guy, that's a hot guy right there.
Sebastian Stan looked so good in this movie, but he looked perfect in the end credit scene. Like, that wig and everything about it was awesome. But the way he was like, you should get a report on that. Like, you should fire up the jets. Because, like, Yelena is the leader, but he's kind of like,
he's been around this kind of stuff,
But he lets her be the leader, and I love that. Like, it's very clear that she's the leader.
Bucky's like, I don't want to be the fucking leader. I couldn't even be a congressman.
He's like, I'm not doing that.
I don't want your responsibility.
Yeah,
I'm just here to fight.
It.
No, dude, that movie was incredible, and like a lot of people talk about how they relate to this movie, and it's sad at times, and it's very moving, and I felt it, dude. Like, you see what Bob goes through and all these, like, in the void, and because you see the flashbacks or whatever to these devastating moments in their life, which is, like, crazy. And I'm just like, damn, dude, I feel for this guy. And, like, he's Bob. Punching the void, and he's like, I'm so alone, and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, and here comes Yelena with the hug behind him, and then everybody gangs up on him. It's a big group hug. I'm like...
Some people were mad about the power of friendship, but how else would you defeat, like, such loneliness and such depression, but without the power of friendship? Like, that's the whole
the story
deal.
Was incredible. And I even thought at the end when what's her name, Valentina, I don't know, it's Elaine from Friends, from Seinfeld.
Yes, Valentina.
Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, I had to do this all along, there's a new Avengers. I was like, you bitch.
Yeah. You bitch.
You tried to kill them like 20 minutes ago. You said Yelena was looking worse than she ever has. You're crazy.
Yeah. She was so good too. I don't know her actual name, but yes, Elaine.
Julia something. Her first name's Julia. That's what I know.
Valentina. She was great. She was great. She is the antagonist. She was the villain, not just the Void, but it was Valentina, really. And Lewis Pullman, what an amazing, incredible job he did as Sentry, as Bob. Oh my gosh, just the way he could play the timid and sad guy.
I was like, no way. Dude,
I love him so much.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, they found ways, and they do this in obviously a ton of Marvel movies. I'm not bringing any around here, but they found ways to throw the comedy in there where it didn't feel forced. Like, it's in the middle of them trying to get out of the void. It's super serious, and they just get this little clip of him in this chicken outfit, and Bucky's punching him. I was like, dude, that was incredible, bro.
It was so good. And one of my favorite scenes in all of Marvel is Yelena and Alexei talking their feelings out. Like, Daddy, I'm so alone. Like, I feel like that was a gut punch to so many people, and like I feel like so many people can relate to like the way Yelena was feeling in that movie, and it was just like that whole dialogue is one of my favorite scenes in Marvel, and like that's the dialogue I feel like we had been missing in Marvel for such a long time. So so good. That's why I can't wait for the Thunderbolts director to keep doing more. He was incredible.
Whenever it got said, which wasn't long after Thunderbolts came out, it was like June or July, that he was going to be on X-Men, I was like, holy shit. Because think about the words on the tip of my tongue, but just the vibe that this group has, the Thunderbolts has, and they're all these outcasts, and they're all individuals that are forced to come together, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy is perfect for the X-Men.
He is. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew how to do a team-based movie. The tone of the movie was incredible. Like, you could tell he understood the characters, and they all shined. John Walker, I can't let it go without saying, so good. So good. And he went from being about
to jump, dude.
He went from going from like one of the most hated characters when he in Falcon and the Winter Soldier to like us being able to really see the kind of person he is, and I love him. I love him. He's one of my current favorites right now. Yeah, Wyatt Russell did an incredible job, so I cannot wait to see all of them in Doomsday. I really hope we get a first interaction between the Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four, because that would just be peak comedy, to be honest. The Fantastic Four are going from being the only superheroes in the world, in the universe, to their knowledge,
Earth where there's like, we got this team,
to an Earth where they're just another drop in the water as far as
I
like
know.
superpowered people. Like it's gonna blow their minds. Like Johnny's ego is gonna get smacked around a lot when he meets other people that can do things like that.
Yelena and Ghost are gonna be. They're gonna be Johnny's gonna be their punching bag throughout the movie. It's like they're just
The
gonna
way
be
that
hitting
they
them with
humble
one-liners.
John Walker, like the whole movie in Thunderbolts, Johnny's not safe. He's not safe.
Yelena said something to John during the movie, like, yeah, that's why your family left you, and he was like, Jesus. I was like, damn, dude, this movie's brutal.
Yeah.
It was so good, man. Yeah, like, for a while I heard about how moving and touching this movie was, and I felt it, dude. It was incredible. Like I said, I don't know if it's in my top 10. Probably definitely in my top 15.
Yeah.
It might end up in my top 10. I'm going to sit here and probably rework that whenever we...
inch its way in there.
Whenever we decide to actually run down our top 10 and we keep
maybe we can do that. Yeah, maybe we should do that like as the opening next week. And now that you've watched Thunderbolts... Now we can really get into that.
Yeah, I don't think there's nothing else, I don't think, that I haven't watched at this point.
That would be
make
important
its way,
enough to...
So it's just I think I'm good. But
yeah.
Now, phenomenal movie. I've been watching a lot of MCU, Marvel recently. Tried to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I was like, guys, I don't like TV shows.
Guys, I can't do it. Yeah, I tried watching Loki, and guys, I can't. This is my second time trying to watch Loki, and I can't get through it, guys. It's so boring. I can't do it. I'd rather just read about the whole plot. I know a lot of people say season 2 is so much better, but I can't do it. It's so not me.
Like,
it's
some
so
people are like,
me.
oh, but you get so much more with the shows. I'm like, but I don't need all of it. Like, I want quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
I don't need 6 hours. I need 2 and change.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, whatever happens in those 6 episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier that I'm not gonna watch, I guarantee you, if you cut 3/4 of it out, it'd be a real tight movie.
Yep. Yeah.
But that's just the nature of the game. This is why we're not. They know it. This is why we're not getting a lot of Disney Plus shows moving forward. They're gonna release whatever they still have in the vault, and then we'll see what happens after that. But I'm a movie guy through and through. I will sit in the cinema. I love the theater experience.
I do enjoy some shows. I love Hawkeye. WandaVision was very good. You guys know how much I love Moon Knight. But Noah is definitely a movie purist, and he'll die on the hill that all shows can be made into a movie.
If you take Moon Knight, for example, because I assume that's your favorite Disney Plus show, right? At least Marvel.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how many episodes that was, but condense all that into 2.5 hours. Probably a better movie.
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm. I don't think you're wrong. But I still do like shows. I do like shows. They're good, but that's all we have.
I like a couple of them.
I do like them.
I'll watch animated shows all day. I don't know, but yeah, guys, I think that's where we're gonna wrap up this week's podcast. Just kind of round down the news of the last couple of days. Because both DC and Marvel and et cetera, had some news, and then we had to talk about little K-pop Demon Hunter. But yeah, where can they find you?
You guys can find me everywhere at Laney Byers. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Threads. I also stream on Twitch at Laney Byers. I've been streaming a lot more. We're figuring out the connection issues. I stream Marvel Rivals, Dead by Daylight, and sometimes Fortnite. It's always a lot of fun. Shout out to my stream community. I love you guys. You guys have been so supportive of this podcast, and we can't thank you guys enough. So if you guys are interested in joining the stream community, definitely check me out on Twitch or YouTube. It's a whole lot of fun.
Yes, it is. Yeah, you guys can go follow me on Twitter at Noah Nation Vlogs. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, technically Twitch as well, all at Noah Nation Gaming. And like we said earlier, go follow the podcast on all social medias. We're on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at the Lightforce Pod. I don't know if it's pod or podcast, but you'll find us.
Yeah,
and then if you're watching here on YouTube, you can listen on Apple or Spotify, and vice versa. If you're listening to the podcast, you can follow us, or subscribe, I should say, over on YouTube. But I think that's all we got for episode 5 of the Lightforce podcast. It has been fun as always, and not sure what we'll be talking about next week, but you can guarantee we'll be here next Friday for you guys. So any final questions, comments, concerns before we wrap this up?
No. If you guys end up seeing The Conjuring Last Rites, definitely let us know. Let me know what you guys think about it. I'll be posting like a little bit of a review on it soon. So yeah, maybe we'll talk about it a little more next week when we can talk spoilers, but it's a little bit too scary for me.
I talk about the spoilers and then I get scared.
Scary, but definitely make sure you guys give us a review, maybe a 5-star review if you like us enough on Apple and Spotify. Leave a comment and like, comment, subscribe, and all those things on YouTube. It helps us out so much. So.
Dude, why didn't anybody tell me I got a little Superman curl going on here? What's up? Dude, I am David Kornslet.
Oh, no. Anyway. Oh, no.
Anyway, thanks for watching or listening, guys. We will see you next Friday.
Bye.